the prowess that he has shown. Tri-State's Prince of New York in Zomba.
After multiple top 8s again and again and again at these big events, somebody look at this man.
Somebody pick up this man.
Pick up this guy.
For crying out loud, these two played in a top 8 like 2 weeks ago at Genesis 8, and Sparg0 came out on top 3-2. And personally, if I want to get some good Smash, I hope I see a Game 5 set between these two again, because that is, I believe, the only time that these two have played post-quarantine at a big tournament.
Already starting off relatively even, what you want to see if you're looking for a Game 5. They are scrapping back and forth. Again, this is a matchup where I feel like once one player starts to get it going, if they really press that advantage, they're going to go very far. But it really is very skewed once one player does get an advantage. The juggle game from the Aegis is insane. Rob off stage, especially against the Aegis recovery, is insane. You just got to wait and see what happens.
I mean, in my opinion, I look at this and I say, well, Rob's carrying a Home Depot of tools with him, and the Aegis sometimes can drop that recovery despite the fact that, yes, that advantage can be oppressive at times. But Sparg0 now playing from behind with Zomba striking first blood.
Yeah, once that gyro bops your jump away, it is rough off stage as the Aegis. But on stage, you're looking pretty solid, doing a good job of dealing with these gyros and lasers. You've got him in the corner. Just a little too early on the forward tilt, but still the juggle is going on.
Oh, nice little gentleman there to get Zomba off the stage, and the blazing end catching the high recovery. And I love that from Sparg0 because he knows, right, there are two things Robs do in that situation. They either jump up to shoot a gyro or a laser to make sure that they can cover themselves on stage, or they go low, which is the safer route, but then you're Rob on the ledge, and sometimes that can be a problem.
And again, as soon as Sparg0 gets his hands on Zomba, once they get down, it is constant pressure, constant juggling. It is difficult for the big body Rob to make it all the way back down.
I mean, Rob, if he has a gyro in hand, is surprisingly good at landing, but without one, that's where he starts to lack mix-ups. A lot of Robs will rely heavily on that nair, but you've already seen Sparg0 and plenty of others who have played Zomba today demonstrate that once you're at this high of a level, you know how to play around that nair, and your toolbox needs to be a little bit deeper if you want to get back on terra firma.
But they do love to use that nair because it is very, very potent, and once you find one of those just now, might give you an opportunity to make it all the way back.
And now right there, it's a forward throw off stage, a laser not going to connect it. Zomba trying to close out the edge guard, and he will do so with an arm rotor, taking out that stock from Sparg0. We're literally leaning over to look at production to tell you what's going on as Sparg0 starts up another juggle.
My goodness.
These two are just feeling it out in neutral right now. There is Sparg0 taking it down to one stock apiece. Percent's not too high on him just yet. We'll see how this juggle continues. Nice little three-piece combo for Sparg0.
Nair on the way down, but they are just trading blows back and forth. Neither player really taking huge advantage. There we go, finally. Sparg0 getting a big juggle. 80% is nice, not gonna punish the air dodge, and the up air on the way down. Zomba loves that.
And you will see Zomba do that a lot when he neglects to fast fall out of the air. He will be looking to land with an aerial to do something big, but it is Sparg0 coming up big right now. He only needs one more solid hit to take the first game. That forward air is not solid enough.
Blazing and not finding its mark, but the up tilt is going to catch the landing there, and that's gonna be Sparg0 taking that. Looking extremely solid.
Somebody who has played this matchup before. I know that obviously Zomba's got some experience up his own sleeve against the Aegis himself, including against this player. You know, one is solid, and two, the caliber that Sparg0 is, and he's like a 50 caliber player if you wanted to put that in terms of how much damage he can do.
And going right back to Pokemon Stadium 2 is the pick as well. There are plenty of other stages that Rob might enjoy, but honestly, sometimes when it goes so close, when you know you've had sets between these two players that go Game 5, and when it can just be, at the end of the day, who capitalized a little bit harder when they had that hit.
And one thing that Sparg0 is capitalizing very hard on right now is the point where he does not have to worry about the gyro. Twice, Zomba has very early in this game shot the gyro up and over Sparg0, which is great if you're in the advantage as Rob, because then your opponent can only back up so far. But if you're in the disadvantage, Sparg0 can press on the gas pedal and do tons of damage. That's why Zomba so quickly has entered kill percent.
Absolutely, and up smash is going to scoop up all the way back to the Mithra just to get that distance. Not quite able to catch with a blazing end. Forward air takes the stock, and we have gyro in hand. Could be huge.
And I love that he jumps onto the platform to toss that as high as possible. It's those little optimizations that you just put into your muscle memory and you say, I don't even have to think about it. I just know that this is going to buy me an extra second where I don't have to deal with the ground control that the gyro buys Zomba. And look at the reactions from Sparg0 too.
Doing a great job avoiding the arm rotor and immediately applying pressure. Once again, we've got Zomba in the corner.
And you can tell just how quickly Sparg0 is able to just strike on Zomba like a viper anytime he gives him even the smallest commit, and he says, "Nuh-uh, give that to me."
Absolutely huge use of your resources there. My goodness, Sparg0 is running over Zomba in this game.
Actually breakdancing on him to get that second stock, and Zomba just can't get his feet on salt. Well, I say his feet, but Rob does not have feet.
The only character in the game.
The only one.
Oh my god. Yeah, eventually though, Zomba did find footing, or treading, if you will.
And that's that exact situation where that gyro being behind your opponent can be so helpful when you can knock them into it. But Zomba's not getting the chance right now. Sparg0 on the verge of closing out a 3-stock. And with that down air into up air, he does just that with a dominant game 2.
Absolutely dominantly. Never was there a moment where I felt like control was out of Sparg0's hands. There was a couple of moments there where obviously, you know, we got up to that 100% because there was a few moments that Zomba was able to apply some pressure, but never did it feel like it was a dangerous moment for Sparg0.
I mean, this is just what Sparg0 does. Oh no. Okay.
That sure would be a choice.
Look, that's not even one of the characters that normally we're like, okay, I know that there is a Link, I know that there is a Roy in Zomba's pockets, but those pockets are on a different pair of pants entirely, right? Like, Rob is the one character that makes Zomba the big money, and everybody's been saying we want to see him stick to this character as the #1 Rob in North America. Have some faith in that. Sparg0's made some great adaptations, but we've seen Zomba make big comebacks. We saw it just earlier in the bracket in quarterfinals in losers that Zomba was able to do just that.
Even within the span of one game, 3-stock comebacks. And again, I feel like the way the matchup plays out, I don't want to beat a dead horse here, but we didn't see Sparg0 have to recover more than maybe once in the last game, and because of that, you really didn't get to see the big advantages of Rob.
And I feel like that's a problem of playing on Pokemon Stadium 2 and just saying, oh, well, it's just about the adaptation, right? And to a point, you're right, but if Sparg0 is the one that's constantly tossing you off stage, he's constantly getting the ledge traps like he did there to take the lead once again. You're not going to get him in a lot of situations like this. Like you said, that's the key, but Zomba SDs as we look away.
Started mashing that side B arm rotor a little bit too fast and fell off stage at 0%.
That's not the first time we've seen that either. I forget if it was Pound or if it was Genesis recently that we saw that exact same thing happen to Zomba, where all of a sudden the stock was gone. Might have it here, but Sparg0 with the deepest recovery.
Yeah, barely surviving. I do not know how he had the pixels to make that back, but because he is firmly planted back on the ground, once again applying that advantage. And again, the huge length of Pokemon Stadium 2 really is, I think, coming into Sparg0's favor, being able to avoid Zomba's advantage and press his own.
Zomba tried to catch the gyro and then shoot it again immediately, but didn't have it in his hands. And man, the Sparg0 is barely even old enough to drive, but he has been in the driver's seat this entire game and the last one as well. It seems like it's only a matter of time, but we also said that about the Muday set too.
Absolutely, anything could happen here, but Zomba on their last legs does get caught by the blazing end, but surviving.
Barely able to make it back on stage. The gentleman gonna be enough to catch the big body. Sparg0 also throws out the big body with the 3-0